Let's make this the last time you've got to get in shape. Here's a better way. Before we get started, let me give you a few disclaimers. I am not a licensed dietitian, nutritionist, physical therapist, trainer, or physician. I am an experienced diet and training coach with over 2 years of experience. I think it's extremely important that you do your own research. Double check what I'm saying or anything you hear on the internet. With that being said, here is why you should listen to me.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it.
In theory, getting in shape is easy. There are 4 simple things you have to focus on: diet, exercise, sleep, and stress. However, as we all know, it's much easier said than done. Let's talk about food. So here on the screen, you're going to see my 3 favorite meals. We've got a poke bowl with salmon, a homemade burger, and a nice steaming hot bowl of pho. So the thing about food is it doesn't have to be boring. You don't have to eat chicken and rice or bland things that you don't enjoy to get in shape. A diet simply is what you eat. So whatever you're eating, that's your diet. You don't necessarily have to eat bland things. You could eat nearly whatever you want. What's really important is the calories you consume versus the energy you use in a day. So long as you aren't eating more calories than you burn in a day, you are not going to get more fat. Because overconsumption of calories is what makes you fat, a few tips that can really help you out when you're trying to lose weight are: choose lower calorie option meats. So instead of getting the 80-20 ground beef, maybe opt for a 93-7 lean ground beef. Maybe on that poke bowl, instead of getting a high sugar, high fat sauce, have avocado instead. These are very simple things, but when implemented correctly, are going to make all the world of difference. Those who don't know how to cook or know what is healthy, let me direct you to 2 geniuses. On the left, we have Coach Doucette, who has 2 cookbooks. The newest version is what you see on the screen, and that is chocked full of recipes for how to cook meals much healthier than you otherwise would. Just learning what foods are less calorie dense from a cookbook like this would be enough for you to go out and start making your own recipes and meals that will help you get into shape. And on the right, we have the man, the myth, the food in life is such a beautiful thing, don't you think? Mr. Quang Tran. From him, you're going to learn how to cook anything and everything. And you're going to learn how to put your own twists and takes on things. And it is going to be the most delicious food you have ever had. And just remember to take into account, we're trying to get in shape here, so take his recipe, and then when you put your twist on it, make it slightly more healthy. Now let's talk about exercise. Exercise can do many things. It can make you more attractive, make you healthier, make you more muscular, make you stronger. It can make you more fit. It can improve your mood, make you happier. So many things. However, don't be fooled into thinking in the next year you're going to become a professional bodybuilder and be the most aesthetic person on the planet. Don't think that in a year you're going to be the most muscular person in the gym. Don't think in the next 5 years you're going to break any strength records. Don't think in the next 3 years you're going to win the CrossFit Games. It takes time, effort, and genetics to do all these things. And even then, you still might not be the best. What you should do, and it's something I learned from P90X, is do your best and forget the rest. So no matter what anybody else says, you can continue to try your hardest each and every day, and you will progress over time. Think about your fitness like you do your investments. However, instead of the time value of money, we're talking about the time value of gains. It's also important to realize that as people, we often set overly ambitious goals. So we all have our own genetics, and just because we want to look like the picture on the left, more often than not, we only achieve half of the fitness goal we set for ourselves. So if your goal is to look like the picture on the left, you likely end up looking like the picture on the right. And I wouldn't be mad about either. Keep that in mind as you're progressing towards your goal, and it will help you not get discouraged if you're not seeing the results you thought you might see. Because at the end of the day, it's most important that you just become the best version of yourself you can be. Transitioning from our physical fitness over to our cardiovascular fitness, I'm going to list 4 or 5 different types of cardio and give some pros and cons to each. So we're going to start off with jogging or long distance endurance running. A pro to this kind of cardio is that you are going to burn a massive amount of calories. It's also going to aid digestion and increase your appetite. Increased appetite, however, can also be a con for those of us who are trying to lose weight. Another con to long distance endurance cardio is the high impact nature of running in general. The impact that you have on your ankles, knees, hips, and joints in general is much higher when you're running than in other forms of cardio. So when you're doing that repetitive motion for a long period of time, you do put your body at risk for these joint injuries and fatigue over time. So that is something to keep in mind. Next up, we have swimming. Benefits of swimming include improved cardiovascular health, of course, it's in the cardio section. However, it's really low impact on your joints and something you can do into your old age. However, cons of swimming are you can't do it everywhere, and so you do need the resources in order to be able to perform this exercise. On to the next, we have biking or cycling. This is a great form of cardio that is also very low impact on joints. However, a con to this exercise is it is very quad dominant, and having overdeveloped quadriceps can lead to knee pain. So that's something to keep in mind, or to balance that with other forms of training. For example, if you're going to do cycling, maybe train your hamstrings slightly more to keep your body in balance. Then we have sprinting. A benefit to sprinting is you are going to see muscular gain from this form of cardio. However, it is extremely high impact, and it's hard to get the same amount of calorie burn that you would via the other forms of cardio listed so far. The reason for this is it's so much more taxing on your central nervous system, and because of that, you're not going to be able to do as much of it as you would the other exercises. My favorite form of cardio is just going for walks, hiking, and just being outdoors in general. Anything you do can be considered cardio. A walk through the mall, getting up to just take a walk midday, even playing with your kids is considered cardio. So take that into account when you're thinking about your cardiovascular health. How active are you? The next form of exercise we're going to talk about are calisthenics. Calisthenics are your body weight exercises, and they're great for people who don't have access to the gym or just don't have that much time in the day to exercise. They're things you can do in your free time, you can do them from home, and so you're not going to have that commute time that you would otherwise have going to and from a gym. Benefits of calisthenics include things like improved cardiovascular health, improved strength, flexibility, and mobility. So calisthenics are something, whether or not you're going to the gym, you should definitely incorporate into your training style. So we've already talked about diet and exercise. Third on our list is sleep. So a huge emphasis item when you're sleeping is what you're sleeping on. Mattresses today are better than ever, and if you're sleeping on something that looks like the bottom left corner, you are doing yourself a disservice. It's hurting you physically, mentally, and you are not recovering optimally. What this is doing for you overall in your life is making you underperform in every facet. For those of us who struggle to sleep, even in ideal conditions, there are things you can use to help yourself sleep. There are sleep aids like melatonin, for example, or as you see on the right, there are THC and CBD supplements that are aimed to help you relax and get better, higher quality sleep at night. In the middle, we see the Calm app, and that's something that has features that will help you meditate, relax, and get a much better night's sleep. Speaking of relaxing and getting a better night's sleep, that leads us right into our fourth and final point of emphasis for the day, mitigating stress. And so it's really important to relax, de-stress, do the things that help you calm down, because stress builds up in your body and it makes it harder for you to recover from things. There are many types of stress. There are physical stressors, mental stressors, and both require recovery. So if you're pushing yourself extra hard in the gym, you're stressing your body more physically than you otherwise would, and your brain is going to struggle to recover from that. So if you're pushing yourself harder physically, maybe you need to relax more mentally to help yourself recover. And the same goes vice versa. If you're extremely mentally taxed, say you have a hard week of testing or you've had a hard week of work, maybe let off the gas a little bit when it comes to how hard you're pushing yourself physically. A few basic things you can consider doing that will help alleviate stress can be things like meditating, having time to yourself, watching a sunset or sunrise, going and breathing nice clean air. It could be playing video games, just doing that thing you enjoy, and that will work wonders for helping you recover both mentally and physically. Remember, diet, exercise, sleep, and stress are the keys to your overall fitness. I'm going to leave some links down in the description to Coach Craig's YouTube channel, Quang Tran's recipes, and a few other resources for helping you get in shape. I hope this helped you and was informative. Have yourself a wonderful day.